September 16th at 4:30, and I'll call this meeting of the Madison Board of Selectmen to order. First order of business to be the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we move to anything else, I'm going to ask the three members that were here at the last meeting to sign the oath of office for Nicole. Make it official.
And then we get to officially welcome you to the board. Welcome to the board.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks.
All right. Approval of minutes from September 2nd, 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Joyce, second by Jim. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining?
Nicole, are you in favor of approving the minutes?
Yes, I did read them at home, sorry. I wasn't sure if I was, since I wasn't like part of the board, if I was supposed to vote on them. But I did
you
witness
were here,
them, yes,
so
so, yes.
we're good. All right, it is
Good question
unanimous.
though.
All right, approval of the manifest. Payroll, $36,684.84. Payroll liabilities, $10,754.82. Accounts payable, $57,651.32. New Hampshire Retirement System, $20,210.11. $325,000 to the elementary school for a total of $450,301.09.
Motion?
I will second.
Motion by Jim, second by Jake, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, public comment. Cool. I'll take that as a no. First item is indemnification for damages for RSA 31:105, and I assume that's because we have a new member on the board.
Yes and no, because I said to Cordell when I was talking to him the other day that we have a new member, so I'm gonna, just in chit chat and identify the board, and he goes, what are you talking about? And I said, well, I do that every time. He goes, no, you don't have to do that. He goes, you do it once for the whole board and all town employees and everything. He goes, then you file it with the clerk's office and you're done. I said, okay, so for the last 10 years, I've been doing it every single time. But anyways, so I kind of just rewrote your motion so that you do town officials and employees, and then we can never do this again.
Perfect.
So.
Do we typically do employees or do we just do I thought we did it specific to the board.
Right, and he said that according to the RSA, it's everybody that's listed on this thing, so you really can't really just indemnify the selectmen, so he recommended do everybody and then put it away forever. So,
All right, I guess I'm gonna read this RSA aloud. RSA 31:105, indemnification for damages states a city, town, county, village district, or precinct, school district, chartered public schools, school administrative unit, or any other municipal corporation or political subdivision may, by a vote of the governing body, indemnify itself and save harmless for loss or damage occurring after said vote any person employed by it and any member or officer of its governing board, administrative staff or agencies including but not limited to selectmen, school board members, charter public school trustees, city councilors and aldermen, town and city managers, regional planning commissioners, town and city health officers, overseers of public welfare, and superintendents of schools from personal financial loss and expense, including reasonable legal fees and costs, if any, arising out of any claim, demand, or suit or judgment by reason of negligence or other act resulting in accidental injury to a person or accidental damage to or destruction of property, if the indemnified person at the time of the accident resulting in the injury, damage, or destruction was acting in the scope of employment or office. So I will make a motion to provide indemnification for town officials and employees pursuant to RSA 31:105.
Second it, yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I will not be talking for the rest of the
Sorry.
All right, looks like we have a rail trail update from Christie again.
Yes. Thanks for having me tonight. This will be about 15 minutes, and I know that you had it on your agenda to select a new appointee to the Rail Trail Committee for the DNCR, but I figured I would come down and give you an update because I felt like you deserved it, and it's probably been a while since, well, we're leaving and then you guys having an update on it.
Yep.
Are you all familiar with the DNCR CVRT committee and what that
You
says?
can give us like a 2-minute or like a 2-sentence description, just like a brief description,
Yep,
if you don't
sure.
mind. Yeah.
It's a 21-mile rail trail that is intended to go from Route 28 in Ossipee along the Corridor 19, which is the train tracks, the abandoned train tracks, all the way up to Conway, Albany Town Line on West Main.
Okay. Oh, by the Dunkin' Donuts?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
So a lot of that goes through Madison, so it's important that we have a voice and have a selectman rep and me or somebody else. But so I wrote it all down because there's a lot that happened in the last meeting, so I hope you don't mind me taking 15 minutes. Okay, and I can answer questions afterward if you have them. The mission really for the committee is about access, connectivity, and enhancing recreation across all seasons. And the committee was tasked with hiring a consultant, an engineering firm, to help complete that within the next year. So there's a meeting every month, and basically we've been tasked with, reading the qualifications, the proposals from the different consultants, basically, to hire one to inform the entire plan for this rec path, which is now 21 miles. And we really aren't waiting until next year though, so this is kind of an issue that I'm having with the committee right now. But at the last DNCR meeting, a decision was presented involving a private land use deal, and that directly impacts Madison. You might be aware of it, down on 113, the 700 feet of supposedly privately owned rail.
Oh, right around the old railroad station,
Yep.
north side of the lake, okay.
Yep, which is in the village district.
Yep.
But what I'm going to be discussing today is the commercial use of, the commercial and non-governmental use of government land in a residential district for the 3 miles behind it. So basically, I feel like, and I've expressed this to them, that it raises some serious concerns about process, transparency, and like respect for conservation land and residential land in our town coming from the state. So they haven't had a public hearing here to address this or speak about it. So I'm not a representative of the state. I'm just the Madison rep to this committee. So this isn't a public hearing on their behalf. Just making that clear. Thank you. So basically, we were asked to vote on it in the last meeting as a committee to support the deal and the negotiation, but they didn't give us the contract to review prior to or at the meeting. So it was really a generalization of support for a deal that we didn't make.
And the deal is for this 3 miles of trail?
Yes.
Okay, being sold to a private individual or?
It's not being sold, and again, I don't have the contract, so it wasn't given to us, and it's being stated as a private land use deal.
Okay,
So, I don't know.
okay,
It's an easement, so they have, it's an exchange deal, so basically they have use of 3 miles of residential, public land in exchange for 700 feet of use of snowmobile access over the winter.
Okay.
So I'm asking the DNCR, and I voted no. I didn't support this at the committee meeting. And there were a few others who really questioned that too. But basically, we didn't have the contract. They wanted our support, and then they said that the commissioner doesn't actually need your support. So Ossipi was questioning it, I was questioning it, as to why it's coming before our committee when a different committee and House Bill assembled it before the entire transition of the 21 miles. So all the information that we have at the town level is outdated because there hasn't been a public hearing here to address it. So I'm asking for your support in appointing another rep, but also the state is supposed to come before us and the select board, and then that constitutes a public hearing about the entire plan for the 3 miles behind the village district,
When you say behind, you mean north, like along the lake or north of the railroad?
north.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, it really should be the entire thing. And they should come with a completed plan before any land use exchange or deals are put before any of our boards. And because they haven't come here, we're working on outdated information, essentially. And I feel like the people in Madison and the boards deserve to have that public hearing. So now it's back on us, and I need your support to notice them so that they can come within 30 days with a completed plan of any change of use for that land in non-governmental use of government land.
Didn't the state
With-
come before the planning board before all this started?
No,
I don't. I'm not gonna argue yes or no because I can't remember, but I thought I'd have to go back and look. I thought at some point last year or the year before, the state came before the planning board with a brief overview, nothing in depth, so we're still lacking a lot of information, but I do think that they came to the planning board at one point or another.
okay, so then that would be outdated, but
Right.
okay, that's good.
Yep.
So they need to come again, is
Yep.
what I'm saying.
Yep.
Essentially, the transfer happened in spring. So it's only been about 4 months
Yep.
since the full line's been transferred over, and because it abuts so many neighborhoods and runs through our entire town, and it's 10 miles essentially, it's a big project. And I just feel like the Conservation Commission, the Upper Saco Valley Land Trust, and the town that have been working on that piece behind it, we don't have the negotiation, we don't have the contract to see how the public can cross, if the public will have access at the chain of ponds. We don't have any of that information. And really, they should come before us and present all of that before they get a ruling on their use of land. So I believe what you're talking about maybe is the private landowner who's not a government rep.
Right, no, we've seen them a couple times for the rail trail, but
Yeah.
I believe that we saw a state representative at one point or another, and it has been quite some time, but.
Okay. So, because they didn't come to us after that transfer, it's a big difference. So, prior to it stopped at 113, and the entire section that's being considered right now with this land use exchange, hasn't come before the town. So it was just gonna stop at 113, now it's going all the way to Conway. That's pretty big, I think. So I would like that. I think that they should come before the board anytime anything major changes, so that we are up to pace. And then also, 60 days before any construction or changes in design occur, so before they break the trail for construction, they should come before the board again. And that was just in my research. And then I would also, for myself and whoever the rep is taking over for Rick, would like to suggest a advisory committee for this, because it is such a big project. I would like to have somebody from Upper Saco Valley, SLAM, conservation, and just anybody who's interested in rec paths or outdoor recreation, to be able to kind of pull them and work on a statement for the consultant. So although we weren't given the contract, we were told that it would be temporary. So it's a 3-year use exchange. But in the meantime, we're trying to hire this consultant within a year. So we really don't have the information and to see if that's appropriate for our town. So that would be something for you to discuss. And maybe if you have a different idea, I'd be open to that too, but that was just what I figured I'd ask for, so that we're listening.
So for clarification. from
Yeah,
me.
it's a lot, it's a lot.
So obviously the rail trail, the idea was to acquire the piece north of the lake, north of 113, with the rest of it. But now that's on hold because of this other lease that's been given by the state? Am I
They
right?
just signed it, so they asked our committee, which is different special interest groups.
Right,
And all the different towns that the trail runs through, if we supported this land use exchange, essentially. And it is for the portion north of.
for the northern portion.
Yeah,
I'm assuming and again, I don't know if you have this information, but it's gonna be run probably similar to when the guy ran the small rail cars. Cause you're talking about changing things, are they planning on changing?
so it's not against this business.
Right.
It's that the state hasn't come to the board. They haven't come here to hold a public hearing for our town and give us the plan. Before any decision like this happens, they should need to come here, not me going over to their committee meeting.
Right, no, you're right, I'm just trying to get clarification on, I
Yeah.
understand where you're coming from I agree with you with as far
So I'm
as,
not sure
Okay.
what they're doing.
doing with it.
Exactly,
Okay, alright.
But
Cause I know you
Yeah.
said they had to come within 60 days if there was gonna be construction or change to the
Yeah.
existing, so I didn't know if they
So
had
that-
planned on that or if they were just gonna continue kind of business as usual with what they have and maybe that's why they felt they didn't need to.
Well, so the mission of this entire committee and for the DNCR, so it transferred from DOT to DNCR.
Right.
In spring. That's a major change.
Right.
Because that says, okay, we're not interested in railroads anymore.
Right.
We're going for the highest and best public use
Mhm.
of this recreational land. And it's their obligation to make sure that it meets hiking, walking, biking, bird watching, snowmobiling, cross-country skiing. That's their focus,
Mhm.
not a private business use.
Gotcha.
So the whole trail, this would disrupt the completion and the contiguous trail
Right,
entirely and compete directly with public recreation in the off winter months.
mhm,
So I'm questioning it. And I'm also questioning their lack of process and coming before you to ask for your support
So
and kind of rectifying it.
basically during the summer, right now, it's privately owned year round, right? That section of section of rail is
Supposedly, I
privately
didn't
owned?
see a contract, I haven't seen a
Part of
deed.
that railroad bed has been sold.
It's privately owned. My question is though, I know at the beginning they were talking about ripping up the railroads and putting in a rec path, and then they were talking about putting a rec path beside the railroads. Do we know where we're landing on that? Because if we're talking about putting a rec path beside the railroads, then these rail cars aren't going to get in the way.
Right, so we're
Except
being
for,
told, so any question like that from the DNCR, if we have a question like that, they say, okay, we're gonna wait until this engineer comes and the consultant can talk to you.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, we're all being told around the table to wait until we hire this consultant.
Yeah.
Which that's our next meeting in October 3rd. We are interviewing consultants, 3 of them. So we wait. OSIP already has a study done up to 113 because that was the initial
Right.
section of the House bill. That's how outdated this information is. So they've got an entire study up to 113 thinking that we're not going north of that. In the meantime, we did hear something on the planning board about it, but we haven't heard from the state coming to us saying, hey, this is our new plan. You know, before it was this, it's not rail cars, that's gone. Now it might be the bike business, but that's not, my issue is the process.
Right, no,
If the consultant comes back and says, yes, like that's totally doable, you have 50 feet of right of way, it varies 100 in some places to 50 feet, to very narrow across the eskers through the chain of ponds.
Yep.
How does that work? And we're being told, you wait till the consultant comes and they'll work this through.
I'm with you on the process, but I do
Yeah.
think you probably wanna keep in mind that without making a deal with that landowner,
Mhm.
there is no rec path through his 750 feet.
But
And then
that
that may be
could-
the state's point of view, is we need to do something in order to maintain some kind of relationship with this private landowner.
Right, so they should come here and
Yeah.
tell us
Yep.
what their intention is for the
Yep.
entire track before they put the committee on the spot and the towns on the spot to say, yeah, support this, or not. We need all the information up front, and I think that the people of Madison deserve that, and we deserve that as boards. And if you decide after the public meeting to, send it over to the planning board or to the zoning board for a variance for commercial use of non-government use of government land, in a residential area, then that's fine, that would be up to you, but at least we get to hear first what's going on. Cause I'm just one person on the board, and there's snowmobile, there's horseback riding, there's, every other town that abuts it, and also the DNCR is voting too, so.
So the way they signed the agreement, and the agreement basically states that the private landowner can have private use of it, and the private use, good, bad, or indifferent, is
For the
the
use of his 750 feet of tracks.
The rail-
Plus the
Hold on.
remaining 3 miles.
Yes.
Hold on. So right now, it's private use of, at this point, again, good, bad, or indifferent, the rail bikes on this section of track. It's public land, but they now have an agreement of private use for this public land?
It's not technically public land, it's privately owned state land,
Okay,
because the DOT gave it to the DNCR for
Yeah.
use, right,
Yeah.
to manage, but it's still state land.
okay,
But it's private land, 700 or 750 feet of it from the old, from the post office
Yeah.
north is privately owned.
okay.
So
Supposedly, but we haven't seen
So
proof
what's
of
the
that, a
agreement?
deed, we haven't
She
seen the
doesn't know what the
agreement.
agreement really
We
is.
haven't seen the unsigned, we weren't given the agreement
But what's
to
even,
vote on.
what did they tell you the gist of the
The
agreement was?
gist is 700 feet
Uh-huh.
of private
Yeah.
land in exchange for 3 miles of land intended for a public recreation path.
They gave him access to an extra 3 miles to run his rail bikes.
Run his
So
rail bikes.
Okay,
they
thank
can
you,
have
thank
access
That's all. You
To
just
his-
add
to
to
that.
his 750 feet.
Yeah,
Okay,
It's like a
got it.
Yeah.
so, but I don't have the contract. They didn't give us the contract. I don't know what I'm voting on, so I don't feel comfortable saying, yes, I support this.
Right.
And other people there agreed with that. So it wasn't just me being like, I'm not going to vote for the residents of Madison.
So do we know, you
Or
probably
say
don't,
that-
but do we know if the contract basically said, but anybody can use it in the winter?
I have no
We don't
idea,
know. Yeah,
and
okay.
that's the issue. See, so does Madison get to check this out before they say yes? I don't know. I think that the only way that
Okay.
we say that is by giving them a notice to come and explain this.
Okay,
And I can give you the RSA. It's basically that they have to come here, and it's a land use regulation.
And it's the DNCR that made this deal, correct?
Yes, the commissioner, she signed it that night, and we were told that, you know, we vote yes or no, it doesn't really matter, she can still do what she
pleases.
wants,
it's
so
just advisory.
we're like, why
What's the RSA?
are we here? Let me just make sure that
Is it
I
already in here?
have it right.
Make them come.
Oh, 674, semicolon, 53, 2, and 2-A. And basically, it just means that they have to come have a public hearing. And because they didn't do that, then it's up to us to say, you come have a public hearing, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so we have three things you're asking for. You're asking for a rep to replace Rick, a select board rep to the committee to replace Rick. Asking the town to notice, them to, the DNCR, to invite them for a public hearing to discuss that use and the deal. And then asking for the town to create an advisory committee for the trail?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a pretty long project. I mean, just this planning for the consultant has taken 5 or 6 meetings, and then we still aren't sure who we're gonna have there. And then the development, the planning, like this is a years-long process, and I feel like if we don't have the support and like the people to say, this is how we see this trail looking in our town, they'll do it for us. So.
Maybe they were just thinking if it's a 3-year agreement, that by the time everything else gets settled, it'll be 3 years down the road, none of this will matter anyway.
Possibly,
Yeah.
but they also did mention, so I have a couple other concerns, if you don't mind. So they may have, and again, we didn't see the agreement, so I'm not sure, but they said they may have the right to renew it indefinitely, and any commercial use is given to the right to designate that comes from the landowner forever. So I just think that it's important to be able to read that before deciding on it. That's a concern. Another concern is that casually, they threw out the DNCR rep from Tamworth. He was like, oh, well, I took Upper Saco Valley Land Trust for, you know, a ride out on those tracks, and they may or may not let us just bypass this entire public land and go through the conservation land. And I was like, I don't believe that, but sure, but it was nice that he had that opportunity to ask them what they want. I just don't see the town and conservation committee and Upper Saco Valley being like, yes, we just, you know, got this deal done, or soon to be completed deal, go ahead, run your bike path through the conservation land. So there's just like things that are red flags to me that I feel like a completed plan would help kind of satisfy that and allow us to vote with all the information presented.
So could we send a politely worded letter to the DNCR asking them to come explain this to us?
That's what
That
it
works.
works. Yep.
Yep.
Updated. Earliest convenience, I guess.
We had 60 days, so.
Yeah.
30.
30 days, all right, 30
30
days.
Within 30 days.
They have to.
They have to,
Per
per RSA, they have 30 days to come and hold the public meeting
Here.
here.
So I guess when the
Once
letter
you,
goes
once
out-
they get the letter, I would assume.
And is it something that they arrange, or do you just do?
That's a
we
question.
meaning by you, by meaning me, arrange.
I think we should try to arrange it for one of our meetings if we can.
I do too, yeah.
Should be
But I
nine.
would prefer to not initially start throwing around RSAs and 30-day terms if we can just ask them politely and see what they say without being bullish.
Yeah, that's
And
just
then-
me because I've
Yeah,
already asked them
right.
twice.
But
14th.
if they don't respond or we get a no, then
I guess
we
you
look
could
at the RSA and
formally
then
do
we-
it, yeah.
I would prefer to just ask them
Ask them to
politely.
come to the 14th meeting,
Yeah,
because the 30th is pretty full at this point.
yeah, October 14th.
Yeah,
Yeah, the 30th is.
well,
Right, I guess if they decline or don't show, then we can,
And
then we can start using legal
Okay,
avenues.
set it up for 4:30 that day, first thing.
Yeah, if they can.
first
yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you say the October?
14th.
14,
thank you.
yeah.
So I voted no for that, and then I just have one more quick update. On the October 3rd meeting, we'll interview 3 engineering firms. We looked into 5 of them, and then I voted to support, so yes, in support of SE Group, HEB, Tie and Bond, and GPI. And they're tasked with creating a complete report and advising the committee and the council, the commissioner, on how this will look. So safety, sustainability, any conservation issues, any interviewing of others and stuff like that. So that's something that they did well, is getting that out. So it's not entirely terrible, it's just working together so that they understand our process and we're following their process as well.
Alright.
So we'll send a letter.
Okay, awesome, thank you. Anybody wanna join in with me?
So we have appointments
Alright, we
to,
gotta figure that out, yeah.
Okay.
on our next agenda item, which we might as well jump right into while we're here. Currently, there are 2 open seats for the selectmen that resigned, and one of them's Conservation Commission, and one of them is the Conway Branch Rec Trail. Any chance you want to vote?
Sure.
That was easy.
That was easy.
what am I gonna say now?
I mean, yeah. They just happen to be the 2 that Rick
Yeah.
had. So conservation is the first Thursday of every month at 4:30. And then this, I'm sure Tia can
Yeah,
fill
I
you in.
can send you all the information. It is usually the first Thursday of the month at 10 a.m. The next one is on, I believe that's a Friday, October 3rd, at 9 a.m. and it's 9 to 3.
Yeah, it is.
So that's,
Wait, 10 or 9?
the next one is at 9.
Okay,
And
what,
then all,
and that's
usually
October
Third.
3rd.
3rd, okay.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, it may be a little bit difficult for me to make till winter hits in, cause my job slows down. I'm working outside construction, so,
Yeah.
it gets a lot easier after that.
And the
So
next,
maybe, yeah,
the
November,
next one-
definitely.
yeah, and there's a list of what is getting covered, essentially what the meeting should cover. So this next one is really just interviewing the 3 engineers.
And that's here.
That is at the Freight House in Center Ossipee.
What house?
The Freight House, it's not their town hall, but it's,
Next to Ospey Concerned Citizens.
Yeah. Right in the square of Ossipee.
Okay,
yeah.
don't know Ospey that well.
Thank you.
I think we did it. All set.
Thanks. Well,
Thank you, Tia.
Thanks,
all
Tina.
right,
Thank you.
thank you guys.
Oh, just to address the advisory committee,
Oh.
just maybe after Nicole attends the 2 meetings, then maybe revisit whether you feel it's appropriate to do a whole advisory committee?
Yep.
Something
Sounds
like
good.
Yep.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, just wanna make sure I addressed all your points.
Thank you. Oh, Joy, actually, I have one more thing. Can I ask a CIP
Yes.
question?
Yes.
So on October 9th,
Yes.
is it 9:30? I think it's in.
Yeah, that's an email I don't use for work here.
Oh, okay,
So-
okay.
So, so yes, that was October
October 9th,
At
9:30.
9:30, okay,
Here.
yes.
Right, Linda?
I knew it was here, I don't know exactly what time you were doing,
Okay.
yeah, I had the
Yeah,
9:30.
9:30.
Okay, that was a Thursday, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I
There's the
think
calendar right there?
It is a Thursday.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, yes, all right, yes, thank
so
you.
first CIP.
Yes,
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Right. Cruiser inspection status. Cruiser, must be you.
Me. So this is the time of the year we get the cars inspected. The Charger went in, 2019 Charger went into Northern Tire. It failed inspection for what they described as severe structural corrosion and frame rot. He said it was quite premature in his opinion. This is Chuck, the owner, because it is only a 6-year-old car. Currently it's got 92,000 miles on it, 6,283 hours. 2,900 of those are idling hours. So he was concerned that it was that premature, and he said, "Oh, you should go and bring this to Chrysler. This is an issue." He has inspected and worked on probably hundreds of state police Chargers. He said this is the worst he's seen. My conversation with him was a little different. You know, the state police cars see, you know, maybe 150,000 miles in 3 to 4 years, where this is, you know, 91,000, 92,000 in 6 years. So there's a different, you could pull whatever you want or see however you want to see it out of that. But so he failed it. I did talk to the technician up at Crest. He says they're not going to do anything with frame rot. There's a 5-year warranty that Dodge has on corrosion. That only covers their like body panels, doesn't cover the frame. I didn't get anywhere with anyone from Dodge on the frame. With that being said, Crest said they recommended taking it to a body shop to see what they recommended. So I went to Northeast Auto Body. I forget his name up there, the owner.
Nate?
He said, "We don't do structural repairs here. He sends all his issues out to Northeast or Mount Washington Valley Fabrication, which is right on North Road across from the Kank Highway." So I went to him. He poked around in it. I'll show you some pictures. Sorry, I don't have any copies, but basically this is right, and those are 2 photos that he captured.
Looks good.
The hole wasn't that big when he looked under there at first. This is from poking around to see the extent of it. So those are right behind, that's the left side right, basically along the catalytic converter and the firewall. And it's all exposed. There's nothing protecting it from, you know, salt or anything. So I brought it to Mount Washington Valley Fabrication. He said he could fix it, and he didn't make a big deal out of it. He said he would fix both sides just as a precaution, because the right side was starting to show a little bit of peeling. And he said $500, and I said, you make it sound too easy.
He's like that.
Yeah, and I said, well, is that the high or the low side? And he's like, yeah, maybe 700 tops. My concern was just patching the frame, and he didn't think it was a structural issue because it's a unibody frame. So I went back to Northern Tire and talked to the owner, and I just said, if he's gonna patch this, will it pass inspection? And he said, yeah, I'll put a sticker on it. So for that, to be involved with that, the Northern Tire will cut the catalytic converters out to make it accessible so that we can patch the frame, and then Mount Washington Valley Fabrication will just weld them back on. So I'm looking at probably tops $1,300, $1,400, and that includes me having it towed from Northern Tire up to Mount Washington Valley Fabrication. And that's the high number based on the last time I had a car towed from Ossipee to Conway. So for my long-term plan with this car, obviously, was to have it for 8 years. I didn't expect this. I believe I can still have it for 8 years. There's nothing wrong with the car. I mean, we've done a lot of maintenance to it in the last couple of years, including 2 water pumps, some struts, the all-wheel drive shaft, which was a common problem with it. But otherwise, it's 91,000 miles is not a lot of miles. I think the highest I've ever seen for us was 130,000 miles maybe. And that was on a car that we drove, 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. So my other concern was, do we want to keep this? What happens in a year when they find another spot? Do I want to keep patching the frame? I mean, driving at 100 miles an hour with a hole in the frame it's not common. We do it maybe a couple times a month. She might go that fast in it to get somewhere, but I just don't want to chase down Dodge, with a insurance claim if we tried to go an insurance route for it, and argue with them about corrosion on a car that's 6 years old that we drive it every winter. And I wanted to get your opinion on it before I proceeded. I believe I should just get it patched and put it back on the road and get my 2 years out of it. Everyone says they're comfortable with it being structurally sound, which is my concern too. It's not uncommon to see a car with rust on it after 6 to 8 years, especially a police car that's in the snow all winter. And if anybody takes care of a car better than I do, better than me, there's nobody. So we kept that car I kept that car pretty clean during the winter, just washing it. I don't know if it's just a fluke with Dodge and their frames.
How do somebody not catch this sooner? Because that's significant damage. I don't mean you, because you're not under the car, but when you've had it serviced other places.
I think what you'll find is everything that you see in this picture wasn't exposed. You have paint or something up to here that might have looked like a bubble, and when they start tapping around,
Exactly.
it starts to get
Put the
bigger.
hole in there.
Yeah. And he just said it was right on a seam of so the seam on the frame is typically what goes first. Water, salt, calcium chloride will find its way in there and just slowly start eating away. And it's right along the catalytic converter, so it's getting baked on. Yeah, it's totally exposed.
Is this where in the past year, we've purchased now a sandblaster and the wax oil treatment system? Are these things that we can use on
So that was
the
another
police
thing
cars?
Yes, that's another thing I brought up to Northern Tire, to Chuck, and I said, should we be putting wax oil? And he's like, you shouldn't have to with a 6-year-old car.
No, right. You start it new, maybe from now on.
Yeah, maybe it's something we put on the first few years and.
At least
and
just a little protection.
Yeah.
So do you feel comfortable running it?
I feel comfortable running it. That's my opinion. Is I can't. Basically, I'm not. This thing is after the end of the month is not legal to be on the road without an inspection sticker.
How does that work when we don't need inspection stickers, or is it specific?
It's not yet.
I
It's
will-
January.
January 1st.
I
is when it
will
starts.
be making sure that our cars are
Right.
a safety inspection at
Right.
the very least.
So there
Makes
isn't, there's no specific inspection for public safety vehicles?
They haven't given any guidance on that yet.
There are
Be a good person to ask too, right?
I
I know
don't-
anything over 10,000 pounds still needs to be inspected.
Yes.
Anything under 10,000 pounds or
So there's
10,000
still
pounds.
RSA's, right, Jim, that govern lights and all that stuff on top of them,
Yeah.
regardless of inspection.
Yeah, you still have to have things
You
that work.
gotta have, there's certain things you have to have your car.
Public buses and
not-
school buses still have to have
Yeah.
inspections or something.
Even personal vehicles still have to have running lights
Yeah.
and brake lights,
Right.
because that's a whole different statute. So this whole inspection thing is really, it's more for, I think, the emissions and safety wise, so you
Safety,
still have to have
safety
running
inspections
lights,
are-
it's all
I mean, it
RSA'd.
wouldn't- if
Yeah.
Yeah.
this, there's no inspection, I would not have known about this.
Right.
Any other than I've changed the oil on it occasionally myself, and I'm not a mechanic, but I can change the oil and do brakes here and there, but I'm not versed in, tinkering around on a frame, finding soft spots, and they know, he's like, that's the spot I look for, when they do the inspection on a car that old.
I guess.
So anyways, I just wanna let you know, like, that's one option, or I can, go toe to toe with Dodge, which I don't feel like I wanna do on a car that
I don't
old
think
or
you're
that
getting-
many miles, and
Right.
I don't think
I think if they say, if Northern Tire and whoever else say it'll be good to go and it's safe, then
Yep.
I think that's the main concern, right? Like, we can get another
Right.
couple years out of it and it's safe
Right.
and we're not gonna have, I mean, again, like, if we
So-
revisit this next year and there's another issue, maybe we
Think about
we
sending.
think about getting rid of it a year
Right.
early and
Yep.
whatever.
When do we have the new truck coming?
that's in.
Okay,
I'm
so can
manag-
Tessa drive that?
Not yet. I'm still managing the lease company and trying to get the lease company and the dealership on the same page so that you all can sign and get it ready. But it's there, it's at the dealership now.
Okay.
They just won't let me take it without paying for it.
Really? They don't
Strange.
trust them.
But yeah, so that's
Okay.
kind of an alleviating factor is, I got a little time to work on this car. It's not a major project. They can,
Do it in a couple days probably.
yeah, he made it sound very simple,
Okay,
the two of them, so.
It sounds
That's my
like-
feeling, I
yeah.
just wanted to get your blessing before I decide.
Yep.
And there are some unknowns, like I said, something else could, show up, next year, and I may be patching it again, but I feel like it's got a couple more years in it.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
I would
and maybe-
suggest that you
might be
maybe
something
get it
about branding, too.
every 6 months, get it inspected, so we know, so we get a whole year to think about what to do.
Yeah, I
You
probably
know
with
what I
that, yeah, I mean, when they change our tires out every season with snow and summer
So-
tires and,
Right, but ask to look at that area.
yeah, and they're usually pretty attentive over there, just for our sake, and I trust their judgment. I mean, I bring my personal cars there and they treat us very well, so.
Let's get it patched.
All right,
Yes.
all right,
Yep.
very good.
And then maybe just have that be the low vehicle, the low mileage vehicle that we don't drive as much.
Yeah, it might turn into a police chief car again.
Cause you don't drive a lot? Well, I suppose you sit
I
in
don't
here
know.
more.
All right, very good, that's all.
Thank you.
Alright, tax exempt leasing exhibit C. This is a payment request for a control center. I assumed this was for the new cruiser.
It's for the upfitting parts of it,
Okay.
right?
Right.
That's, yeah.
Yep.
We already paid for the stickers.
Yep.
This is like the bells and whistles, and
The
we still
lights
haven't
and the
actually paid for the
sirens.
car though.
Lights and all that stuff.
But I don't know. I thought if you did approve this tonight, you'd do it in a motion so that we have something in the minutes that just said it was okay.
Yep.
I'm all set.
So we need a motion to sign this.
Yeah, motion to approve the payment request. Do we need to check one of these off?
We will, yeah.
Hmm.
Delivered and
C? Or is it installed? Is this already installed?
No, that's equipment he has, and he's just waiting for me to bring the car to him.
yeah,
So
so
it'd be B.
pending installation.
B,
And that does cover like installing the equipment I already have as well.
Using, reusing stuff,
Yep, light bar and,
computer,
I think it would be C, right?
I think so,
Yeah.
It
yeah.
has
See?
been delivered next to the pending
pending
installation.
It is
installation,
pending
okay, yeah, you're
installation.
right, yep.
Alright, so do I hear a motion to sign this?
I will make a motion.
See, I'll second that.
Motion by Joyce, second by Jim. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I assume you have a clean copy and
Yeah.
signature in them, or
Yeah.
you wanna do it now?
It's up to you, it's just you.
You're the lucky guy.
You're it, buddy,
You go chairman.
it's all on you.
I'll fill in the other stuff after, or you.
I try not to, cause my handwriting's horrible. Say the 16th,
It is.
and we're going with C.
Thanks.
State's surplus land offer, map 203, lot 10-1.
Tried to give you an idea on a tax map. It's landlocked.
That's what I
We
thought.
were wondering if there was any access to it,
Now it's up,
cause it was part of Olson's property at one point.
It's
Before it
part
was
of the
released.
bypass corridor,
Right.
correct?
right, and there,
Selling it off again,
yeah.
yeah.
But it is landlocked and there's no easement other than the public service.
Correct.
I
Say.
don't know, I didn't look into those details, and I don't think they told us much in the letter.
The looks of it, it's,
I'm still trying to wrap my head from this map exactly where it is. Now Coleman meaning this, so this is 113 over on the left.
Tasker Hill,
Yeah.
right?
Right, Tasker Hill over here.
Yeah.
Tasker Hill.
Yeah,
So
113's.
113
yeah.
over there, and that Coleman is in like
It's right
Coleman
behind the Cranmore Shores development.
Yeah,
behind it, so Cranmore Shores is kind of where this white space is.
Up
Like above,
here,
yeah,
what's
like
the name
that's
of that
outside of
street?
Can't
Madison.
see them now.
Well, this was,
somebody.
Yeah, it's that, Coleman's pit is right after Cranmore Shores.
Yep.
yeah.
That's this pit here.
Good lord.
Okay, so
Okay.
I don't feel so bad, okay.
No, so, yeah, so Route 16 is gonna be over here,
Or
Yes.
running a kind of
and
parallel this way.
113
113 here, yeah.
Yeah,
goes up.
16
So
here.
you go out Cranmore Shores quite a ways
yeah.
Yeah.
to East Street, come back in around Brookside is your first one on the left.
Yeah.
You go right to the end of Brookside, you step out about 300, 400 feet into the woods.
And that's the
You
property
cross
line.
the town line and that's where the snowmobile trail comes off.
Yeah, alright.
Well,
And Olson didn't want this back?
they're asking us first about the looks.
well, I don't know, it says requester's property on this sheet, I gave you this copy, right?
Yes,
Or did I?
this one here.
Yeah,
Requested.
so I wonder if Olson's asking for it, but they have to offer it
To the
to
town
us
first,
first, maybe.
probably,
Yeah, that's what the lawyer seemed to say, was that they offered to us first.
Yeah.
before they sell it,
So,
yeah.
They must have though. That's wild to me that they didn't have to offer it back to him
Yeah.
first.
Maybe they didn't do that much research
Yeah.
before.
I don't see us having any need for it,
I don't want it.
no, I don't either,
I don't know.
there's nothing for us, nothing.
Unless he wants to pay us double for it.
Yeah, maybe we could buy it, sell it.
and they sell it for a profit.
I just assume they offer it back to Mark and,
Bony piece of ground with no access.
yeah,
Yeah,
merge the
You want
lots back
everything around
together.
it,
Right.
as well as back.
So it says, the sale will include the following conditions. The property shall be conveyed subject to perpetual trail easement and right-of-way to the benefit of the State of New Hampshire Department of Natural Cultural Resources, so the DNCR. So it sounds like, yeah, more than, anyway, as a condition of the sale, the buyer will be required to commission a licensed land surveyor in New Hampshire, to do the boundary. Upon approval, buyer is required to record the plan, blah, blah, blah. Under Rockingham County Registry
Yeah, I
of
thought
Deeds,
that
that's,
too.
Yeah.
yeah.
they met Carroll
hit the wrong
County,
one,
okay.
Carroll County, yeah.
Then the buyer should be responsible for obtaining all local city approvals. Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it does have a trail easement. That's
Yeah,
the
it's the
snowmobile
ATV
that
trail.
come through, or-
Alright, Snowmobile Trail, yeah.
Trail,
They
yeah.
don't do the
God
ATVs
forbid
anymore.
they let you ride ATVs on
Right.
trails anymore.
Yeah.
Why?
So,
Just out of curiosity. Why?
Why don't they?
Yeah, why can't we?
Because
Or
it's
dirt
against the law.
I know, but why did
Oh,
the law change? That's what
because-
There's a couple of,
Well, the part of it was
Bad apples running
salamanders.
across? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know, we found one somewhere.
Turtles.
I was just
Turtles,
curious.
yes, turtles.
couple of bad apples ruined it for everybody.
That's it.
that's
Alright,
always,
so I'll write them a letter saying thanks,
No.
but no thanks.
Yeah.
I think we did this before.
I think so. I must, well, see, wow, not to open a can of worms here, but they have those other two parcels of land that are also in Madison.
That they're done, I guess.
Are they not gonna offer those to us first before they offer them back to
Yeah, I was
Coleman?
wondering the same thing, you would've thought they did.
Right, right.
In one.
I don't want those either, I'm just,
I
Unless-
thought it was weird too, looking at it, that was the one and not the other ones that have been.
because there's,
Unless where it says requester's property, they're actually starting something,
No.
you know what I mean? Maybe.
yeah, there's 6 plots along that bypass corridor.
yeah.
But one of them might have had a better lawyer.
I've had a reversion clause in the original deed when the state took it.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
Cause they took it, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Many moons ago.
Yeah.
And then make you buy it back.
And then they keep buying- well, they pay you for it.
Pennies on the dollar.
Right.
Right.
All right. Thanks, but no thanks. Old business. No old business. Nicole, you don't happen to have a list on your first day, do you?
No, I don't.
Joy?
Okay. I did drive up Albert Road and did take pictures.
Okay.
Oh, I
Um,
did too.
Okay. So, I got back to some of the people who had contacted me and they said, now, did you look opposite Albert Road and how it's going down to the other person's property? I said, I did not take pictures of that, no. So I didn't know if it was worth it to contact the folks across the street who are being affected by it as well, to invite them to that meeting, and did anyone ever get back to us about
I
coming
got
to me?
3 people from Albert Road who can come on the 30th, so I'm
Okay.
going with the 30th.
Okay. And then can we invite, I think it's 2 properties across the street?
Yeah.
So you guys okay with that,
Sure.
Sure.
since they're affected?
Yeah.
Looking at it, it is almost like a half pipe, like it is up on the sides, like pouring down into the road. So I'll forward the pictures to Linda,
Yep.
so everybody can see them. And there's a for sale sign, and there's just a mound of
See, I
gravel
think
piled
that's
up at the
where
for
we're
sale sign.
finding most of the issue too, is coming out of the road, is
Yeah.
that untamped pile of gravel that's just pouring. I mean, it's sitting 6 feet from the roadside, so I think
Yeah.
if that was gone, I'm not saying it would mediate all of it,
Yeah.
but it would help
It would help, yeah.
get rid of it.
I'm not really sure that they ordered gravel. It's very sandy. Like, it's like driving on a beach, like lower your tires. It's so deep.
Yeah.
It was, and there's no ditching.
Right.
It's just a luge. It's a sand luge. That's the first thing. Just water is pouring down the sand.
Another thing as we enter budget season, we were gonna talk about doing annual reviews for employees so that we know how to budget any increases. So,
And there was a request from ABC that moving forward, it'll be communicated, and I don't know if this has already happened, because I'm new. Any raises start April 1.
yeah, I think that's what we'd agreed to
So,
last year,
We'd
yeah.
agreed to
Yeah,
that
all right.
last year, yeah.
Thank you, yeah, for remembering, actually I'd forgotten that though, yeah.
So that, perfect.
Yep, so that way budget gets approved.
Right, the
Yeah.
budget is approved, and then we can,
Yeah. Do we wanna put out a memo to department heads to kinda start looking at that process?
Just let them know that if they have anybody on their radar looking for a raise to reach out, or, yeah, reach out now and let us know. And I'm sure they would all make sure it was in their budget anyway,
Well, I
but,
think the goal is to do annual reviews for everybody,
yeah,
so that we know every year that everybody's doing a stellar job.
sure. Yeah, we did ask everybody last year to start that, but I think that we wanted them in January.
No, we wanted to start them now so that we knew before town voted that all reviews were done by the end of the year. So that when the town votes in March, raises will be determined at the end of the year annual review. Do you know what I mean? We wrote
I
it
think
down.
that's why we went with January.
I thought we went with the fall because they were gonna need to try to complete the reviews.
But either way, yeah,
The final quarter is what
Yeah.
you're trying to get at.
Yeah, by the end of the calendar
Yeah.
year, yeah. Okay. And then, goes really to that, I was gonna say something about that, but anyway. And then, the raft, there was someone on Silver Lake who was amenable to donating their raft, and I'd sent a message to Linda, the DPW, but didn't follow up. Do you know if anybody read it, saw it,
I know it was red, I don't know what came.
if they contacted them?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't think it was for me, so I didn't act on it.
No, you
Oh,
weren't, no, it was
okay.
just to keep you in the loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
did follow up with the DPW to see if they called anybody.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know that they did or not.
Okay, yep, there's someone on Silver Lake looking to donate a raft, so, or looking to give away a raft, so alright, I'll follow up with my email and see if, or even with the person who's looking to do it, and see if they're interested. Yeah, I guess the other thing is, Linda, you you had a stack of reports that, the ABC had, started requesting last year, I think when I was still, when I was the selectmen's rep to it. And we had a revenue report and, like a warrant article drawdown and like all these great reports that gave us a lot of information. Is that something, are they asking for that again this year? And if not, can at least the select board, or can the select board have it?
No, they requested the revenue report
Yeah.
Okay,
and the itemized drawdown.
Yeah, of course.
okay, yeah. And then like the status on like the rec revolving or whatever, just kind of, that's straightened out, right? Is Heather working with you on that?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay, alright.
but, yeah, when you say the status of the rec revolving, that's
Just
it's held by
balances
the
kind of thing.
treasurer.
Okay.
Alright, so, cause
I
that's
guess
different
there
than
was a
quick
treasurer's
so
report
it's-
too. I guess any of the kind of, if this makes sense, town operating accounts? Do you know what I mean? And if the rec revolving really doesn't fall into that category, then that's fine.
Well, no, well, we have like 18 accounts,
Yeah,
so,
because we have the you had a report that was the ETFs and kind of where those were.
yep,
And then the warrant article drawdowns, and then the revenue report. And it was just so good to have all of that information to give you the big picture. So the DPW's transfer station's bringing in this much, the rec is bringing this much in fees that go back into the general fund. It just helps us have the big picture on kind of money coming in and out and stuff.
yep, I'll pull something together.
Thank you. Okay, now I'm done, thank you.
Nothing on the lights yet, I assume.
Nope,
Did you
not
reach
yet.
out? Okay.
I'm getting there.
Alright, nope,
Sure.
alright,
We are, the infield material is here,
okay.
and we'll be screening that hopefully this weekend. But no, nothing on the lights
Okay.
yet, I promise I'm
No,
getting there.
it's okay. I'm good.
I don't have anything on my list.
I had two things. One, question came up at the ABC about the dumpster here at the DPW that we pay for. Garland comes and hauls the trash. And the question was, why do we have it if we have a transfer station? I get the question and I agree, but at the same time, I know that there is some ease to the town, the library, to use that instead of having to bring it to the transfer station. So my thought to bring to you guys is maybe we figure out what it would cost and what it would look like to get another container to have here that we can haul, since we haul our own trash anyways. So if it means buying another container that we can use at the transfer station, but that has an access door to dump trash in, and Dave could maybe shuffle it around, because we have 4 bags in it a week maybe, there wouldn't be enough where it would be practically empty where he could take it when removing the one that needs to get hauled to be dumped, he could put it there, kind of a revolving thing, whereas trucks here anyways, that wouldn't be much more, but see what the cost would be to get another container if that's what we had to do. Cause I know Adam had said that we had bought one last year.
I think it was
a new-
last year.
A new roll-off, so I thought maybe,
Do you remember the price?
I think it was around 5 now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
It said something about 3 earlier, but it didn't sound right, and I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth.
No, it's okay.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
It's
but I know at this point, I know Garland just raised their monthly fee, they dump it once a month, and that's $230 a month now. So it's almost $3,000 a year, so my thought was even if it was, say, $6,000 to get a container we could use that would be ours, it would save us,
Pay for itself.
it would
in
pay
2
for itself
years.
2 years,
Yeah.
right, cause we'd be saving the $3,000 we're paying them. So the first year would be down 3, but then would be break even come year 2. And it's something that we're gonna use in the town continuously, and it seems like, cause at some point, they went up from 100 to 230. So, and it's not gonna ever go down, so at some point they'll probably raise their price again and we'll be paying $330 a month for trash removal.
And right now, is the dumpster used by DPW, town hall, fire department,
And
and
library.
Everyone uses this one dumpster?
Yeah.
So it's not just 4 bags.
Well, no, but but it's not, honestly, it's
Yeah.
not much when the
It
cleaners come and
Gets
clean.
full after a
right.
month,
Right.
once a month,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
I
but
just-
like my thought is, and that the one we have up there now is a small 6 yard.
6 or 8.
Yeah,
I think.
just-
It's not very big.
Because I just switched from dumpster at my property to bear-proof tumblers, and it saved ton of money, like a ton of money. And because I could have also gone with a 2-yarder, but they just didn't have them available. So a 2-yarder might be a lot cheaper.
But it would have to be emptied more than once a month would be my thought.
Not if you're saying, I don't know.
Well, that fills up once a month.
Yeah, okay. once a
As a
all the way
6 or
above,
8
yeah,
yarder,
Okay, yeah.
And depending on the time of year, because if there's people like the
There's a
softball guys,
project,
you know,
a
they'll come over,
project.
they'll use it, Old Home Week
Right,
and.
right.
So for different
So my
things,
thought was,
yeah.
especially during Old Home Week, if we had a full-size container that we could use at
Right.
the, for a compactor, you know, at the transfer station, that
Makes
we
sense.
wouldn't have to worry about filling the DPW's thing up during Old Home Week. We could
Mhm.
have, and just kind of work into the rotation where, yes, I mean, obviously it's more than 4 bags of trash, but a
Right,
week it
okay,
probably
yeah.
wouldn't be, I mean, 10 bags of trash a week maybe, that
Right.
would be in the big compactor thing, if that's the route we went. I mean, it's just trying to figure out a way that it still is convenient to everyone on this side of town,
Right,
but it can become a cost saving measure
yeah.
in the
Does it
future.
become people showing up at town hall in off hours trying to dump in it?
They don't, I don't think they do now.
Well, it fills up,
Well, right, but I mean,
there's no room. Do people come?
I think so.
Okay,
It's not locked or anything.
okay.
I mean, you
And
could
you
always
see-
lock it.
They
too.
are now.
Own cars,
I'm
yeah.
just kidding.
It's bear
and
proof.
I may be way off
Environment.
base, it may be more money than that, but I think it's worth having Dave.
Yeah, I figured talk to Dave and see what it would cost and what, cause obviously he knows what he needs for his truck and how that all works. And just come up with some numbers and see what that would look like, potentially. Because-
Someone had thought, maybe even been John, of working with the school to see if could somehow consolidate trash services, cause they have a recycling dumpster and a regular dumpster. I don't know how much they pay,
I
but,
think we had this discussion with Dave
School
last
district,
year,
yeah.
and it got messy for some reason, and we
Okay.
ended
Stuck in
up not
school
thinking it was a good
district.
idea.
Yeah.
okay.
It's through the SAU
And
and they
you're
have
not
a
gonna get on
contract for
that?
the 3 schools, so it didn't work.
I was
Okay.
gonna get on the
And
SAU
the
stuff.
kind of the
Okay.
similar idea, those dumpsters aren't something that he can pick up on his truck.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You need a hook.
Yeah, he's got a, yeah.
Yeah, you need a hook for these ones and
Yeah.
he has to
Roll
use a
on.
roll off for
Yeah.
the ones we have. And then the other thing is, I drive by it and it drives me nuts, is whoever now owns Hunt Barkley's property at the head of the lake,
Put all that
their
in.
tree broke, they cut it up and they stuffed it on top of our dock that's sitting there next to their fence. And I don't feel like we should have to pick that up, considering it's not our tree and our mess. So I don't know if we need to send, would that be Bob Boyd that would send them a letter requesting their removal?
More like the selectmen.
Would it be- Alright, okay, I didn't know,
It's,
because when,
it's his daughter that owns it.
oh yeah, I knew it was a relative of, whether it was a son or his daughter, I didn't know who, but,
Can we send them a message and see if they can?
request that it's removed, or, cause I mean, if we have to go pick it up, there's gonna be a fee to have it removed, cause it's
Right.
not our, I said, if it was our tree that fell and he was nice enough to clean it up, or whoever it was, then fine, but it
So what
was,
is it sitting on?
so there's a willow tree,
Yeah, I know the willow tree, yeah, I know.
it lost a large leader, and then I
Into the
saw the
lake.
gentleman, into the lake, and then I saw the gentleman in the lake cleaning it out. Well, what he did is he cleaned it out, and then stacked it on the old wooden dock that's there at the head of the lake, and
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
just left the pile of debris there for
Oh.
us to pick up,
Right,
which,
or for one of the kids to come home.
you're right, throw it back in the water,
Yeah.
but, so just,
Yeah.
again, I don't feel that it's fair to have the townspeople pay for the mess that isn't our mess.
We shoot them something and ask them to clean it up. Thank you.
That's all I've got.
Linda?
Nothing.
Michael?
Fire conditions going back up. We were moderate for about 3 days. It's back up to high. No rain inside, so chances are this is where we are for the fall, because leaves are falling now. It's gonna get more and more dangerous.
So total.
Burn ban?
Burn,
Yeah.
yeah.
But, and we're waiting, we had a Mount Washington Valley Chiefs meeting this morning. Everybody's waiting for somebody at the state to speak up. Of course, they don't really want to because of the tourism
I'm
dollar,
gonna say all the campgrounds.
the impact, but sooner or later,
They have to.
they're gonna have to take action
Right.
statewide if we don't get rain and the leaves fall. Other than that, I don't have anything to report.
I have a couple of quick things if,
Hold on.
as department head.
Hold on.
Holding on.
Jimmy?
Oh, you ready for me? Yeah.
Ready for you.
Our activity still remains pretty, a little higher than normal. But we we're keeping up with it. We have good case resolution in court. Took the boat out of the water last week. It was, wasn't doing well in that dock at the foot of the lake there, the boat ramp, because the water's so low. It actually was kind of hanging out underneath the dock at times, so just to preserve the condition of the boat and the dock, I pulled it out. Not to say we still can't deploy it if we need to. Other than that, everything's good to go.
All right. I'm gonna speak to those if that's what you're asking about once we get there.
I'll let you speak then, and I'll just, if I have something to add.
Can I go back and just mention something else?
Yeah.
That there was an email from someone in town who wanted to know when the selectmen were gonna be putting a ban on watering and that kind of thing. We explained that it's mostly private wells in town and that we really don't have any control over someone's private well, but it was still thought that you should know that this person had a concern about water usage. So I'm just saying it out loud.
Thank
That
you.
it was
At
explained
this
that we really
point,
can't control it.
We
Yeah.
can't control it, but I
So.
would imagine it's common sense to take it easy on the water.
Right, unless you wanna drain your well.
Right.
Also, people have been reporting that's when the ground wasps tend to act up, is that when you water your grass, now they want to come live in your grass. And that's where people are having these sting incidents, is actually after they've watered their grass and the ground wasps are
Taking
coming
them out.
to drink it up.
Plenty of them out there.
Drink and stink.
There's a, yeah. Sorry.
You're good. All
Sounds like a
right.
good night for a police
Signature.
officer.
Yes.
Drink it, sting operation.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
There's a letter in there for a new signature card for Camden National Bank, because we have new people who can sign checks. But because we don't have the old bank anymore, it's not as easy as just signing the signature cards anymore. So the newer, excuse me, the newer people, Jake, Jim, and Nicole, if you don't already have an account with Camden National Bank, you'll have to go to Camden National Bank and speak with this Mr. Dan, I think his name is.
It's on there.
And he has to verify that you are who you are and all that kind of stuff
Not
before
a real
you'll be.
human, not a robot.
Yeah.
Evans. Dan Evans.
Similar to if you were opening your own
Is he at
account.
the Conway branch?
He is, yeah.
Okay.
So we have to go up there and see you?
Physically have to go
Okay.
see him. I imagine you'd have to bring your ID, but I'll
Firstborn and all that
Yeah,
other
yeah.
stuff.
Where am I
This
signing?
letter is the catalyst for him to be able to
Should I
start
have it over
that
here?
process.
Okay.
But
Or maybe
Right
you'll call with the time, we can just go.
Yes, send it.
he sent me an email. I'll send him that and then
Okay.
I'll get
Give him
direction
our
from him
email.
and get back in touch with you guys about when it's a good
Okay.
time to go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, now that
That
we
should
have,
be easier.
it's a new bank, they used to just.
Trust you.
Trust you.
Yeah, yes.
We are who we are, yeah.
So if we have an account there, we don't, I'm sorry.
Correct. So if you've already like been, if they know who you are in a sense that you already have an account there, you don't have to go through all the rigmarole to have to.
So do I have to go there at all or no?
If you have a Camden National Bank, you wouldn't have to.
What if I'm gonna break up with them?
Shh, not
Here.
until you sign the signature
Okay.
card.
That transition didn't go very smoothly
I like how
between
she's
North
thinking.
Way and Camden.
Yeah.
What?
I like how you're thinking, because I think the town ought to do the same thing.
Because
Wow.
that transition was horrid.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah, we
erased
had a-
20 years of
Right.
my history and.
Oh, you're not the only one who's, yeah.
I was like,
So we have two requests for payment from the rec revolving fund. This first one being to pay for the mum fundraiser. So we sold 159 mums at their price of $12 each, and we pay $6.50 each. So the total bill is $1,158.50, and I'm not a mathematician to
Did
tell
you say,
you.
so we made 550 at
Yeah.
159?
Yeah.
$874.50.
Yay, congratulations, Rec.
Nice.
And we're looking at using the same company to do a poinsettia. I don't do plants. I think that's what
Yes.
it's called.
The Christmas plant.
Yes.
People with cats should not do poinsettias.
Well, it's a good way to get rid of your cat, I suppose.
There's that one.
I'll buy some for my buddy.
Oh, You're on camera now, at least people watch this one. I said the same thing at a rec meeting, but nobody watches those ones. This second one is for a new set of soccer goals, and the plan was originally to budget for these next year. And while I don't appreciate the manner in which this came about, I think it undermines the fact that we were in fact looking towards getting new goals, and what happened on Facebook and things of that nature I don't think were appropriate, and it undermines what we're doing. But we did have two generous people in the town of Madison to donated $4,500 for new soccer goals. So we are going to order 2 brand new soccer goals with wheels at 21 feet, which is regulation for U12. And that total was $42,33.78.
Nice.
So we're just under what was donated.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention, just along the same lines of just, you wanna support rec, yes, thank you, please. You can drop off checks at town hall, you can make cash donations. There's a Square website that is specifically for donations, no fees go there, it's just donations. All this is on the rec website, their Facebook page, whatever. Thank you so much to everybody who donates, and then just make sure that there is as Adam mentioned, there is a process for it. And again, if rec has meetings every month, Adam's the selectmen's rep, Sherry Stockpole is the chair of the committee, Heather O'Donnell is the director. Everybody's available on Facebook, at town hall, just reach out to them. They are always looking for support and welcome it and appreciate it. But let's just make sure that we go to them and not go rogue, start hullabaloo on Facebook.
Work.
Yeah, we did the.
It did work, but it's not appropriate.
I don't know, I
Well-
missed it, I was just thinking, I have no idea what you're
Yeah,
talking
that's
about.
It worked in getting a lot of people very frustrated
Oh,
for,
I had no idea what
Yeah.
happened, I missed everything.
We have some very generous people in town, and we appreciate the
We do.
donation, guys.
we definitely do.
We had a plan, and certain people didn't like how fast that plan was moving, and which is what it is, I get it, people wanted the right things. And
People
now we're
never
gonna
do
get
that with gym floors either.
Hey, it happens, I did it.
So, motion to adjourn?
I have a motion from Jim,
I will second.
second from Joy, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Going down. Oy.